So we are going to hit quick play just to randomize the settings aside from the backstory, obviously, because we want to complete a run in the Scars backstory. Why do I set these things when I just trying to remember this? We're just trying to do the Scars backstory. So we have Azal, all perks, Yashiro, but that should be fine. I mean, that's not the craziest run we've run into, although Azal is kind of crazy, so I resigned that statement really quickly, but when I think about it, it's not the craziest we could have done. Also, you'll see a custom character there because... That's not Yashiro. Because I've been trying to do custom content stuff, so albeit very slowly, custom content stuff. Random item stats is off, but we are on all perks Yashiro, so as we get into Azal, Scars, all perks Yashiro, I'll do my best. I mean, yeah, we're gonna randomize the settings. After about 3 attempts, I'll choose a different character. Basically, that's the plan of action. As we have knowledge, second encounter, charisma, second mystery, light, and maybe a dexterity check. No Takshi-san, but I guess we're gonna play with knowledge for now, and we'll see what happens. I don't often do this, but you never know, right? And at least I get to set a legal den as we move on, though. But yeah, I should more normally be attuned to what's happening in video, because if I'm not, I'm prone to making mistakes. Not that that's something I don't want to get better. I do want to get better at that, so I need to do it more. But as we have arms, coma, festival footage, and scissors, ooh, we'll go scissors. We have scars. And if we can get any other thing done, I think I saw coma, so maybe we can go for a Dream Eater achievement. We're still trying to go for more achievements if possible, but I usually know not to be greedy at times. We're going for 5 claps to guess at the end, and we'll see what happens. But yes, if nothing else, we're going to be taking probably like 4-6 stamina damage, and then we'll take like however much HP these events will take out. We're at least a high threat level school, so we're taking penalty damage too. Cool. I think we're at max threat level. That's what it looks like. Funny enough, if that was Frostbite Land, that could have been bad. But as we roll a 10 on Katana, I'm shaking my head silently at the moment, but I mean, not much else to say. It is what it is, and if nothing else, I will proclaim to have worse luck than usual. So if you want to see what gameplay looks like, at least with bad RNG, well, here's the channel for you. Otherwise, what I would want to say more is that if you want to see more consistent strats with bad RNG and, you know, how you deal with it, cool. If not, though, if you have good RNG or amazing RNG, feel free to katana all you want, and you're like, wow, Harbinger is easy. So, I mean, I can't really argue there. That being said, oh my goodness, okay, good. We do have Timeline B, but we do need to heal stamina. I know, I'm coming, hold on. Also, which Azal rule do we have right now? Because we're Yashiro. So if we had the experience rule, it could be very bad, because Yashiro does not level up at 100. He levels up a little higher than that. But hey, I did get one, because I did hear, I don't want to misquote the thing, so I'm actually going to try to pull up the notes. I don't think I have, oh wow, 5 claps, by the way, I think, is our ghost ritual. But I guess I'll try to paraphrase, because I don't remember exactly the wording, but the wording is along the lines of, yeah, you know, because I've said this before, so it sounds like just to clear the air, because I've heard people talk about it before, as we have the fund rule next. We have footage, by the way. We do want to do a thing, but let's see what our second threat level is. I'm going to be weaving in and out between talking about what I want to talk about and gameplay stuff for obvious reasons. We do want to, yeah, we actually want to get an actual knowledge weapon, so our Doom might look bad, but we need this, we can't use the wooden bat. That's not going to go well for us. Although, fine. You know, when I don't get a weapon, I'm not gonna reroll anymore. It's not gonna happen. Police station, the school, and off we go. If nothing else, to get the handcuffs. But yes, basically the topic of being proud to be a free-to-play in a game where you can use money to basically get an advantage. Now, I will say that people have a point when they say that, you know, I mean, I don't want to paraphrase, that's not what the person was saying, but let's extend it farther, because I think there is some. The person is right, by the way. The people and the pre-people and the person who is presented this view is right. Yeah, I'm being vague because I want to talk more about the concept rather than attacking the person, which is I know how the internet works, or to some degree, how the internet likes to work. We're about to die, by the way, so I'm gonna witch tree for stamina twice. And that being said, it's not like the gameplay you see on this channel is the best anyway, so already I've lost on a merit point and on kind of a logical point. If we're gonna extend it that far, I'm gonna go for the thing, by the way. We're actually gonna trade reason for stamina here, but the topic is, again, there's no sense having Pride as a free-to-play in a pay-to-win game specifically, which is not the point that I was making at all, and if I did, I would like to resign that point, because don't let it be said I can't be persuaded otherwise, but there are a couple things to talk about on that point, as we want to curse doll, by the way. Can we even Desperate Struggle? And that's that, how do I want to say it? Because I'm trying to get my mind in order while I'm dealing with the encounter in front of my face. We have to curse doll at least like a lot of times. Oh my goodness, this might actually be worse, but I'll do my best. And we need to hit 90%. But there is something about it, because if you just want to play a game, sure. But I think the bigger point, as we're nearly dying to reason here, is that this specifically applies to pay-to-win games that where you have a greater advantage for basically paying money to the game. And if it's a free-to-play game, then, I mean, there's even more. There's more for both sides. We need to get lucky here, and we didn't get lucky. Well, you know what? We can do this. But specifically, usually the games I play, I have some degree of, and yeah, this sounds like me trying to defend the game, but allow me to explain. We obviously know which games are very, very pay-to-win, and in those games being a free-to-play, yeah, there's less pride. Again, the person and people who make arguments like this do have a point. Are we gonna die here, by the way? We just need to run. Yeah, we just need to run. They do have a point in that, yes, you're essentially just hurting yourself by continuing that, and therefore, if nothing else, please don't give money to games like that if you don't want to basically waste money, because you are not a whale. Let's just say it straight out, because that's the observable truth we see. If you're not a whale, you cannot, you're not going to, or you have a very close to non-zero chance, if not zero, to not being able to win in a pay-to-win game, because most of the time, pay-to-win games especially have play-to-win aspects. But again, we'll take this even further and apply this to free-to-play games that only have PvE and a story. So, while yes, you're not doing yourself any favors by having Pride as a free-to-play, again, I like to assume the worst in a situation. So in this case, let's assume I'm closer to wrong and say, even if there's no pride in being a free-to-play in a pay-to-win game, even if it's like a PvE story experience, like, say, Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, and whatnot, because let's say, as someone who has a little bit of knowledge in gacha games, if there's no PvP, then there's no point actually having an advantage. Yeah, there's cookie points for being like, wow, I've Eidolon 6 this character, all my characters, but at the same time, if there's no PvP at all, then usually that's the usual reason why you want to be, at an advantage or be competitive. But if without that, also nice 12 roll, by the way. We need to rest more here, by the way, as well. But yes, they are, people will make that point, all right. There really is no point, but at the same time, there's another point I want to tackle on this, but if it's not a PvP game, it kind of loses its merit. And you do have to realize, again, the point is right for pay-to-win games, but for games like Zenless Zone Zero, which, don't have a thing at all, I mean, there is some pride to take away in terms of, hey, you can perform just as well, unless it's kind of obvious that's going to be the case, but like, when I say obvious is going to be the case, people can crunch the numbers and say, yeah, you don't need to have all your characters maxed out with all the BIS equipment. It makes things faster, definitely, but the pride I'm usually talking about as a free-to-play means, hey, I can do just as well in certain games. Again, obviously, this doesn't apply to completely pay-to-win games. We are on Timeline B, by the way. The other part about that is that you can kind of reverse the chessboard and say that You know, if you are a whale, you better not lose. Basically, that's all. That's the point. If you're pay to win, and you better be performing at the same level, if not better than, because we have seen a few examples. Not the exception proves the rule. This isn't always the case. So therefore, yes, the point of being having Pride as a free to play in at least pay to, again, this very specific argument here is in a pay to win game, which I would argue there are more than a few games that aren't, but most of them are. So I have to concede that point. That being said, that's not to say you don't have pride for yourself, but hey. And if nothing else, it's like, if you really want to play the game, and you're not a whale, then you would still play the game. Again, in a pay-to-win game, I would kind of see more merit in the argument that is. Also, we're about to die here, aren't we? I don't think I can throw anything else. Why did I use the cursed doll if I could have gotten more damage there? I wasn't paying attention, but again, there's more I can say on it, but I'm kind of focused on not dying right now. Even though World of War is not the... Again, if you look at my channel, you can make fun of me on this channel because all my gameplay is just out in the open, but that doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. It may be the wrong opinion, but hey. Again, at this point, I specifically mentioned Zenless Zone Zero because that's the game I'm playing at the moment, and essentially you can pay to win in a sense, but that really you get things done faster, and obviously you have a higher chance of, if not, well, you have a guaranteed chance. Sorry, I'm trying to think of a way out of this encounter. You have a guaranteed chance of, you know, basically maxing out all your characters, items, equipment, and whatnot. Whereas a free-to-play, you obviously do not have that option. Obviously, there's an advantage. I don't think I've ever said there was an advantage, and if there is, I would like to resign my statements and correct myself, because I'm prone to just, you know, I'm prone to making wrong statements just outright. But in this point, I think there's some leeway here. But again, I think you can have some pride as a free-to-play. I think we just have to dodge here. But at the same time, you have to realize you will be at a disadvantage, and trying to take pride in, like, you know, oh, there's not that much of a disadvantage. It's kind of hard to say, but again, it depends on the game, right? If it's not a pay-to-win game, like, in my opinion, most MiHoYo games, because there's no strict PvP aspect in any of those games, then yes, that argument doesn't really hold as much weight. But if you are playing a game where it's very obviously pay to win, let's not deny ourselves here, then yeah, we have to go for it. If I die, I die, by the way. 50% dodge, by the way!